Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. Really excited for today's video. It's Cellar Saturday, so I take something off the shelf down here and I drink it. I'm not going to drink this whole thing because that would be crazy. This is a 2015 Samuel Adams Utopias. See, look at that. How many beers have movable parts? Not a lot. Limited edition 2015, number 06201, Samuel Adams Utopias, the Boston Beer Company. Decanter handcrafted by a place in Brazil. Very cool. Proper glassware. This should be in the, I think, the low 20% range. If you don't know anything about this beer or much about this beer, when you buy it, you give them your whole paycheck, which is pretty crazy. But then they give you this decent size container. No, so when you buy it, it's got the screw top like I just did, and it has an actual Samuel Adams black cap on it. You take that off, this twists down. The reason I was excited to do this beer is because it's 6 years old, and unlike most beer, you don't want to open it and leave it for 6 years. But because this drinks more like a liquor, or more precisely a liqueur, it should hold up fine. So I'm really excited to see if it did. Again, really high alcohol. So super short story time. That tastes good. So finished a beer festival in Syracuse, New York. We all had enjoyed ourselves except for the DD, who was being very responsible. And we went out afterwards, and a place had this. We had never had it before, but we were also post beer fest status, if you catch my drift. And we freaked out. We had it, and it was like one of the best things I ever had. And I've totally been chasing that dragon. Just how amazing that beer was. So this is a few different bases, aged in different barrels. It'll have some of like their cosmic mother cosmic funk, whatever they call it. Maple syrup might be in this one, things like that. So there's a lot going on into this beer. It's basically the highest alcohol from like a traditional brewing process, kind of. I don't know, whatever. Those wars of high ABV I think are still being fought, but this was like one of the OG high ABV beers. Anyway, no, you're not gonna get any carbonation, any head on that. It's a very still beer. It's brown with a lot of red, a little bit of black mixed in, but I do get some red crimson. You're not going to get any head, but you're going to get legs. I hope the camera's picking it up. I mean, definitely getting legs on that. Let's get into the aroma. Yeah, so it smells how it should smell. So that bodes well that it's going to taste, better than just licking it off my finger. I get port, vanilla. I do get a little bit of like syrup, not quite maple syrup, but definitely like this syrupy thing. Dark cherries, some like dessert red wine, not cinnamon, but you could see how like this beer would pair well with something that has those autumn and winter spice blends, cinnamon, nutmeg, and clove. Bordering on a savory note, and yeah, definitely this nice like port thing. Yeah, it smells fantastic. Let's get into the glass. Cheers. Still drinking great. And this is so much not like a beer. It really is more like a nice cordial liqueur, something in that vein. That sweetness that I thought was like syrupy, but not full maple syrup. There's a kiss of maple. It is very port and sherry-like. You get a little bit of that cherry note. You get that vanilla. There's like 50 different things that are all... It's weird because usually like when you're drinking something, you can't say there's 50 things dominating the taste. This has like 50 things dominating the taste. It's so impactful. It's so full of different flavors. So you're getting those wine notes I spoke to. You get that cherry, you get that vanilla. So you get that barrel that way with the vanilla for sure. More likely vanillin, I should say. Oh my god. This like caramel molasses. I'm mentioning molasses because there's a little bit of that savory thing as well. Slight smoke on its way towards peatiness, but not peaty. A little bit of warmth in the chest. But for the ABV, and this is right off the shelf, so it's certainly not like a chilled beer or a chilled beverage. I'm not getting a ton of alcohol in the taste or the chest, which is nice. Like I was saying about the aroma, like with the taste, it doesn't have a cinnamon taste, but again, you could see how this would pair well with those spices. And yeah, that cherry thing for sure. I know this is going to sound silly, but like fermented grapes, which I know is wine, but like specific, like just grapes that have fermented, plus all those wine elements I already mentioned. A little bit of that brown bread thing. Actually, I keep saying a little bit. Again, these things are so pronounced. It's more of just like, I know there's all these things dancing on my tongue, like label and name as many as you can. But yeah, that brown bread for sure. Bordering on medicinal. I think for some people they would say this is medicinal. For me, I'm going to say it's bordering on that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, like cherry cough syrup, like the cherry is much more pleasant than that and more real tasting than that. But yeah, no, I mean, this has held up. And again, it's such a trip. I opened this 6 years ago and it's still holding up. I won a bottle of this in a raffle, so that was pretty cool because it is super expensive, like I said before. But then I still went and bought a bottle. But anyway, this is the bottle I bought. The one I won, I shared as much as possible with people. I just figured, like, hey, share the wealth. So, but this one I've mostly been drinking myself. And yeah, it's held up. It's delicious. Have you had this beer before? Do you think I'm crazy that I bought a bottle of this beer? Anything, everything, comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. What are you drinking this Cellar Saturday? I don't know. Anything, everything. Get it going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews of both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.